দর্শক আমন্ত্রণ জানাচ্ছি চ্যানেল 24 এর নিয়মিত আয়োজন মুখোমুখিতে আজকে আমরা কথা বলবো সম্ভাব্য সুইজারল্যান্ডের প্রেসিডেন্ট জনাব এলেন বারসাতের বাংলাদেশ সফর নিয়ে। আর এই বিষয়ে কথা বলার জন্য আজকে আমাদের অতিথি ঢাকার সুইস রাষ্ট্রদূত রেনে হনস্টাইন। ওয়েলকাম টু দ্য শো স্যার।
Good evening.
So you must be very excited, and you're also very tense. You're also doing a lot of work because this is the first time, if I'm not wrong, Switzerland, President of the Switzerland is visiting Bangladesh. Tell me about it.
Absolutely, you're right. It's the first ever since Bangladesh and Switzerland started their bilateral relations that the President of the Swiss Confederation is visiting Bangladesh, so I'm quite excited.
And you're quite the lucky one. During your time, the President is visit, if I'm not wrong, right?
We are lucky, yes, but as I said, we are also excited. We are lucky because we hope that this visit will contribute to the strengthening of our bilateral relations. You know that Switzerland and Bangladesh have started their bilateral relations already a long time ago, more than 45 years ago, and Switzerland was amongst the first countries to recognize the independence of Bangladesh. So the strengthening of our bilateral relations is the first objective of this visit. And the second one is, of course, the Swiss President will express the solidarity of the Swiss population, of the Swiss government with Bangladesh in regard to the Rohingya crisis actually in Cox's Bazar.
So I think he will be also visiting Cox's Bazar.
He will be visiting Cox's Bazar on the third day of his trip to Bangladesh. The main program, of course, will include the official visit, the official talks with high-level dignitaries in Dhaka. He will also be visiting the monuments, the national monuments, the National Museum, and he will also be visiting the Dhaka Art Summit.
So, is there, apart from the Rohingya issue, which is one of the biggest issue, and of course, all the presidents and all other presidents of different countries are visiting, is there anything else that he's going to do as is the first visit? Is there anything remarkable or memorable he's going to do, or is that been arranged?
Basically, the strengthening of bilateral relations is in the core, is in the heart of this visit of the Swiss president, which means that on the one hand, the Swiss international cooperation has been very active in Bangladesh for a long time, and the Swiss president will reaffirm our commitment in terms of international cooperation with Bangladesh. Secondly, we would like to develop and strengthen also our trade relations with Bangladesh. So that's the reason why there will be meetings also with Bangladeshi business circles. There will be a meeting also with Swiss companies represented in Bangladesh. So this will contribute to strengthen our economic relations. That's a very important outcome, I hope, of this visit. Last but not least, as mentioned, I see a lot of potentials also in terms of developing our cultural relations. Bangladesh has a great culture, has a very diverse culture. So we are looking forward to ways how we can work even better together.
Right. Is there any a schedule or appointment or anything in his schedule whether he will be able to experience the rich Bangladeshi culture?
Yes, absolutely. I think that first of all, during the official visits and the traditional hospitality of Bangladesh, he will enjoy the traditional Bangladeshi hospitality. And he will also see, let's say, a modern side of Bangladesh when he goes to the Dhaka Art Summit, where we have international and national culture, national arts being exposed. So this is part of his program.
On this particular discussion, you have to take a break. দর্শক, আমরা কথা বলছিলাম ঢাকায় সুইজারল্যান্ডের রাষ্ট্রদূত রেনে হনস্টাইনের সাথে। আমরা কথা বলছিলাম ফেব্রুয়ারি 4 থেকে 7 তারিখে সুইজারল্যান্ডের প্রেসিডেন্ট যিনি বাংলাদেশে সফর করবেন সেই বিষয়ে আলোচনার এই পর্যায়ে একটা বিরতি নিচ্ছি। সাথে থাকুন, ফিরছি একটু পর। দর্শক আমন্ত্রণ আরও একবার মুখোমুখিতে। আজকে আমরা কথা বলছিলাম ঢাকায় সুইজারল্যান্ডের রাষ্ট্রদূত রেনে হনস্টাইনের সাথে। ফেব্রুয়ারি 4 থেকে 7 সুইজারল্যান্ডের প্রেসিডেন্ট আসছে বাংলাদেশের প্রথমবার, আপনারা সকলে জানেন। সেই বিষয়ে কথা বলছিলাম, কি হতে পারে সেই সফরে, কি থাকবে সেই সফরে, কোথায় কোথায় যাবেন, কার সাথে দেখা করবেন, কি ধরনের বাণিজ্যিক চুক্তি, বিনিয়োগের বিষয়, এইসব বিষয়ে কথা বলছিলাম। Excellency, welcome to the show once again. As it's the first visit, I think definitely it's very important to you, and all the visits are very important. So I really would like to know what are the agendas being put forward, keeping this visit in your mind.
Look, we are still working on the agenda in mutual agreement with the government of Bangladesh. Generally, I can tell you that the international cooperation will be on the agenda, be it at the bilateral level in Bangladesh itself, but also at the multilateral level. So how do we work together in the UN? What are the plans in the UN? What are the plans of Bangladesh and Switzerland in these different fora? That's one of the issues. Second one, business, as already mentioned. How can we develop our already considerable business relations? And third element will be also cultural ties. There will be exchange, of course, on the Rohingya issues. And last but not least, who knows about the situation actually in Bangladesh, the upcoming elections, the internal situation in Bangladesh.
So what about the Rohingya issues? I mean, what are the things that may discuss? Because you've been, if I'm not wrong, you've visited Cox's Bazar, you have seen the people suffering, you also have seen how Bangladesh is trying to giving them shelters, food, along with EU friends, Switzerland and other countries. Bangladesh is trying to protect them and also trying to fighting for their rights. What are the issues may take place regarding the Rohingya issue?
Without going too much into details, because we are still working on the agenda, as I said, but generally we will be looking at the international aid, at the international support Bangladesh needs, and at the support that Switzerland has already provided in the past, and what is the prospect of this assistance, humanitarian assistance, but also politically, what is currently discussed in terms of repatriation of the Rohingya. For Switzerland, we have been very active, as you know, in providing support and assistance to the Rohingya refugees. We have so-called secondments still on the place, people working as experts with international organizations. We have provided financial support to organizations, be it international NGOs, but particularly also multilateral humanitarian organizations. And these are the issues that will be tackled within the broad discussion on the Rohingya. Bangladesh is currently in an extremely challenging situation, and we are besides Bangladesh, and we would, and personally I would like to commend the people and the government of Bangladesh how he has been dealing with the crisis up to now. It's amazing.
So in this tour of Mr. President, is he going to announce any more as a development aids? Is he going to announce any amount?
Financial support is extremely important and by the international organizations, even though I think that the people and the government of Bangladesh have provided in general much more aid than the international community, because all what it means in terms of direct costs and indirect costs for the host communities to deal with the Rohingyas currently is a huge amount which Bangladesh has already provided.
So as Bangladesh also suffering for the climate change, each climate change is going to be another agenda in the discussion between the president of your country and the president of my country, or the prime minister?
It could be, yes, absolutely.
Okay. And as you have talked about that upcoming election of Bangladesh can be an issue. Any note that you have made ready for Mr. President to talk about the political scenario of Bangladesh or anything like that?
The President will be briefed about the situation more generally in South Asia, but also in Bangladesh, and this will be one of the broader discussions.
Right, and is he going to meet the civil society of Bangladesh as well?
He's also going to meet with civil society. I mentioned that, one part of the civil society are the business circles, but also representatives of civil society and human rights organizations, For Switzerland, it is important Switzerland has a strong policy in support of Human Rights Council, for example, of all the UN organizations who are dealing with human rights issues. So this will most probably also be part of the agenda.
Right. And if I'm not wrong, Switzerland is one of those countries which is full of innovations in business, in other issues. So will there going to be any innovative business discussion between the countries? I mean, you can bring your idea here, we may have some potentiality, we can work together and make it happen.
I cannot disclose what exactly will be discussed. And it is for sure that innovative business discussion will take place in terms of what are the areas that are a priority from the Bangladesh side in terms of business development, and how could Switzerland be supporting these areas.
Excellency, on this particular time we have to take another break and we'll come back. দর্শক, আমরা আলোচনা করছিলাম কি আলোচনা হতে পারে। সেখানে বড় বিষয় হচ্ছে রোহিঙ্গাদের নিয়ে বাংলাদেশ সরকার এখন পর্যন্ত যা করে আসছে সেটি আলোচনার একটি বড় অংশ হিসেবে থাকছে। পাশাপাশি সুইজারল্যান্ড কিভাবে বাংলাদেশকে আরো সহযোগিতা করতে পারে, বাংলাদেশ থেকে শুরু করে জাতিসংঘ প্রতিটি জায়গায় সেই বিষয়গুলো আলোচনা থাকবে। পাশাপাশি ইনোভেটিভ বিজনেসে সুইজারল্যান্ড যে এক্সপার্ট, সেই এক্সপার্টিসটা তারা এখানে হয়তো আনতে চায়, সেই বিষয়ে হয়তো বা থাকতে পারে প্রেসিডেন্টের সম্ভাব্য ট্যুরে। আরো কথা বলবো, আলোচনার সাথেই থাকুন, ফিরছি একটু পর। আমন্ত্রণ আরো একবার, মুখোমুখিতে কথা বলছিলাম ঢাকায় সুইজারল্যান্ডের রাষ্ট্রদূত রেনে হলস্টাইনের সাথে। ওয়েলকাম টু দ্য শো ওয়ান্স অ্যাগেন। সো এক্সেলেন্সি, as the bilateral trade and the relation between Switzerland and Bangladesh is very interesting. What do you think after this? Within this visit, it will grow more, and how it will grow more?
I'm sure it will grow more in different areas. First of all, in the area of cooperation, Switzerland will continue its development cooperation with Bangladesh. Second,
any priority on the development cooperation?
Yes, we do have priorities. We have a new so-called strategy with 3 priorities. First on safe migration, second one on governance, local governance, and a third one also on skills development, market development, which will continue over the next 4 years. So that's the first part. Second part, it will boost our bilateral economic relations, I hope. It will raise the interest also from Swiss business circles to come to Bangladesh and to invest in Bangladesh.
Third, and what are the potential sectors that you're thinking of investing?
There are certainly the more traditional sectors, like Switzerland has been exposed to the garment sector. This will certainly continue. Also, the pharmaceutical domain will certainly remain one of the big exports from the side of Switzerland, but there are also new areas. I could imagine also areas of new information technology, green economy, energy, and so on. So these are probably the new areas. But the third element where I really hope we can make a step forward is also in the cultural field. Pro Helvetia, which is a Swiss foundation, has now supported the one part of the Dhaka Art Summit, and I really believe that these cultural relations are essential for mutual understanding and for mutual development. And here Bangladesh and Switzerland can benefit a lot from each other. And we have the chance that our president this year, he's also Minister of Culture. So he's particularly interested in culture.
During the visit time, you will be in a rush. You won't be able to have a glass of water even if you're not feeling thirsty, because it's the visit of the president. But how long you've been working on this visit? Because if I'm not wrong, it's been sudden plan, or it's been planned for quite a long time?
Look, this visit has been in the preparation for a long time, in the sense that this is the first ever visit of a Swiss president. But it was decided on a relatively short term, So since then we are working very hard to make this visit a success.
Excellency, coming back to the Rohingya issue, Bangladesh is already signed a repatriation treaty between the physical arrangement, how to take these Rohingya people getting back to their place. as European countries and Switzerland is also helping Bangladesh by different aids, different capacity. Is there going to be any decision or any major role that Switzerland is about to play in the UN on behalf of Bangladesh as it's protecting these people and these as much as possible with their capacities? I mean, will the president will bring the message to UN, and as UN is a lot of taking care of everybody, is something going to happen?
The Rohingya issue has been discussed already several times at the level of the Security Council, in the different committees, and also in the Human Rights Council in Geneva. Switzerland was supported to this initiative from Bangladesh side, and also to the resolutions which were adopted, particularly in one of the committees of the UN and in the Human Rights Council. On the other side, we think that the repatriation agreement is a positive step, and what is very important is the safe, secure, dignified and voluntary return of refugees, and Switzerland has always stated that repatriation is the best option.
Right, and Switzerland also have a good relation with Myanmar in terms of business or anything, so is that going to be sort of hampered by this unwanted or uncivic behavior by the Myanmar armies?
Not at all. I think our bilateral relations with Myanmar and Bangladesh are exceptionally good, so it doesn't hamper in any sense our relations.
Right. Excellency, thank you so much for allowing us, and I believe the coming few days will be rushing for you, and you will have a great time, and I believe I wish you all the good luck for the upcoming visit. Thank you so much. It's been absolutely pleasure. দর্শক, আমরা কথা বলছিলাম ঢাকায় সুইজারল্যান্ডের রাষ্ট্রদূত রেনে হলস্টাইনের সাথে। আমরা কথা বলছিলাম আসন্ন সুইজারল্যান্ডের প্রেসিডেন্টের বাংলাদেশের প্রথম সফর নিয়ে, এবং এটি প্রথম সফর, এই জন্য রাষ্ট্রদূত সহ পুরো দূতাবাস অত্যন্ত ব্যস্ত, এবং নানান ধরনের ক্ষেত্রে বাংলাদেশের সাথে তারা তাদের সম্পর্ক এগিয়ে নিতে চায়। সে আশায় দেখা হবে অন্য পর্বে।